babes, how are you guys? I'm well. So happy to be with you all today. Oh, if you're new, hello, I'm Destiny Taylor. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below and join the XO gang so you never missed a video, okay? Well, yeah, again, she's back, and she is back in that action. Yes, sis got some bundles. I'm loving my natural hair right now, which I still am. She's all good under here, but I was like, I need some bundles, some bone straight bundles, because I haven't come through with it in a really long time. So yes, she's here. I mean, look at her. Look at her. Look at her. As I'm sure you saw from the title, today I am teaching you guys the easiest method that I use to create my wigs in about an hour to 2 hours, and sometimes even less than an hour depending on the length of the hair and how many bundles I actually have to install. So the method I am showing you guys today, if you haven't already seen it floating around YouTube, I've been using this for about 4 years now, is the hot glue method. Yes, sis, I said hot glue. Get into it. Get into it. Let me teach you. Because this is clutch. It comes all the way through. So reasons why I love the hot glue method is it is super quick, super easy. Again, it takes me between an hour to 2 hours. Usually it's like an hour, maybe even a little bit over an hour, but this time it took me 2 hours because I actually haven't created a wig in a very long time using this method. So I had to, you know, get in the flow of doing it again. But once I got toward the end, I just So another reason why I love the hot glue method, when I'm tired of the wig, when I'm like, you know what, I need to construct a new wig, or I need to do a sew-in, I don't want to do a wig anymore, I can easily take the wefts off of the wig cap and actually pull the hot glue off of the wefts. It is popping. It doesn't ruin your hair, which is absolutely amazing. So if you want to be like me and you want to use your virgin hair for it, that is absolutely fine. But if you just like, look, I need me a quick look tonight, I got a date tonight, I got something to do tomorrow, I got a panel to speak on tomorrow, and I need a completely new look, but I don't want to dip into the bank because I just need it for tomorrow, really. You can just go get you some synthetic hair, whip up a bomb wig, wear it that night, the next day, bada bing, bada mother freaking boom.
Already loves. So this video is sponsored by Ishow hair. I am using a dome style cap today, and by the way, I used an extra large cap, which is way too large, and I did have to go in and customize my wig cap. I cut that entire clip out of the video because it made the video very long, but if you want a separate dedicated video that will teach you how to make a cap that is too large, small, and fit to your head, just let me know down below in the comments and I will definitely get that for you. The wig head that I'm using today is a size 21, and this dome cap is fit for like a size 24. So yeah, I had to go in, and I'm using plastic. This is just a plastic wrap that I received in an Amazon box when I purchased something, and I just put this over my wig cap so it can protect my cap when I go in and I add the hot glue. So now that I have my dome cap pinned down, I am now pinning down my closure, and I'm making sure I'm doing the front, left, and right edges, and then I'm going to go in and secure the back middle. So now that my closure is secure, I'm just taking the hair of the closure and I'm pinning this down so it's out of the way when I go in to sew my closure down.
Why do you always do this? Earlobes. How? If I don't do it, I'll overflow.
Now I'm ready to sew down my closure, which is my favorite part. I'm not going to do a very detailed voiceover on this process. There are some really clear and concise videos that can teach you how to sew down wefts or closures, and I'll have some links to some other bloggers' videos down below in the description box if you need to learn how to sew. But one thing that I do that's unique to my process is what I'm doing now, which is called a back stitch. So I'm starting to sew about an inch away from the hairline, and then I'm going to work my way up and sew toward the hairline. And then once I get to the hairline, I then go back over the stitching that I just did, and this is called a back stitch. And if we were to be sewing anything with a sewing machine, we would always start with a back stitch to get a nice and secure start, so what you sew doesn't fall apart. And I started doing this a while ago because my wigs were just especially my closures, they would pull up all the time and they would make me very frustrated. And I was like, oh, I need a more secure stitch. Well, how can I get a more secure stitch? Do a back stitch, Destiny. I took like a sewing class in college, I think my sophomore year, and that's how I learned about a back stitch. Just some fun information. So again, there are some detailed videos down below in the description box that will teach you how to do this process. But another thing that I would like to note, so what I do is I sew the left side, so I start from the hairline, and then I'll sew to the middle of the closure, and then I'll go to the right side, and then I'll start from the hairline, and then I'll go to the middle of the closure. So I'm doing two separate stitches, one from the left to the middle, one to the right to the middle, so I can so my closure will be flat. You don't want to just go all the way around, because you'll notice that your closure will either lift or it will be slightly lifted over the hairline on one side. So now we can get into the fun part, which is the hot gluing. And I've already done more than half of my head, just because it's a repetitive process and you really don't need to see the entire process to get it down. So basically what you do is you take your weft and you stretch it across your cap to measure the length of weft that you need, the piece that you need, and then you cut that. And then, as you could see, I started by putting hot glue on my starting point, and then I pressed the end of that weft down on the cap, and then as I'm doing right here, and then I just go in and I'm putting the hot glue directly on the weft right now. As you can see, now actually I wish I would have included some clips of me cutting the weft, but basically I just stretched the entire long weft across the wig cap so I can measure the piece that I wanted. And then once I knew the length of the piece that I wanted, I just cut the long weft to make a shorter weft. And what I'm doing right now is gluing it down. And for a few of them, actually what I did is I just took the long weft and I just began gluing across, and then once I hit the hairline of the cap, I would go in and just cut the weft. So I didn't like pre-cut it before I glued down, which I'm doing right here, as you can see.
Why do you always do this?
Alrighty, so now the wig is done, and I've already cut the wig cap that's underneath my closure so it can look like scalp, and I'm just going to brush the hair out, get out any hot glue that's got on the wefts, and I'm going to figure out my part right now. I did go down and I took out some pieces so I can open that part up a bit, and now I'm taking this Cream of Nature wrapping lotion to really mold the sides of the hair down. I am really impressed by this hair, the way it laid down. It wasn't stiff. This is some really nice hair. Okay, so this is where I'm going and just taking out some pieces, some strands of hair from that part to widen it up a bit. I'm not using any tweezers just because this is really easy, so I'm just like separating the pieces that I know I want to pull with the comb, and I'm just going in with my hand and making sure I'm gently pulling the hair out so it doesn't rip the cap. So now that that is all done, I'm going in with this electric hot comb and just really making sure both sides of that part are very straight, very smooth. I put in some heat protectant from the dry bar, and now I'm just running my flat iron a few times through the hair to get it nice and bone straight.
If I don't do it, I'll overflow. What do you mean? What'll happen?
I only have in 3 bundles and a closure, and this hair is hella thick. Like, it's crazy. So here's the left side and here's the right side. So this is all of the hair pulled up. You know, usually when you have straight hair, especially with the longer lengths, it tends to like taper down very thin, and the ends are tapered not so nice. But these bad boys, they got me together. They got me together. The hair has a nice thickness all the way from the left to the ends. So I haven't received any shedding yet. I haven't done any like crazy washing or anything. And when I installed the hair, I can't really tell you if I did receive shedding from installing the hair. Oh, bounce back. One con of making a hot glue wig, you actually have to cut the wefts. You sew down the closure like you do a regular wig, which I'm going to show you, and then you actually have to cut the wefts. So when I cut the wefts, I did get some shedding naturally because, you know, I had to split the band. I haven't in the longest time not installed 4 bundles. So for this to be this poppin' and this thick, and for me to feel like a queen, like a voluptuous queen, with 3 bundles, that's pretty amazing. Okay guys, thank you. Okay guys, so let's just do this again. Here is the wig. Straight. Now this part right here is not as smooth as it could be because you saw I had to, you know, customize the cap. It was too large. But yeah, it fits very nicely. I didn't make it a little bit too large so it's sitting on my ears, but I'm fine with that. I'm totally fine, and it lays very flat at the top. All I did was I straightened it. I went in with my hot comb and I straightened it and lifted this down. I put some Got2b glue gel, bam bam. Put some concealer down there. Oh, I put some powder underneath on the closure at the, you know, at the bottom. Before I laid it down so I can, you know, get more of a camouflaging look at the top, and called it a day. She calls it a day. Oh, and dry shampoo. Dry shampoo. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you enjoyed seeing me, please subscribe, possibly turn on your notifications. Definitely follow me on Instagram. I actually post more content on Instagram than I do on YouTube. So yeah, peace and love everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's so amazing to be back in front of this camera speaking to you all.